I'll let you know for sure. And it would be a potluck, but we can figure out closer to the event what I want to bring. Alrighty. Good, good. Let's see.
Just don't worry, you need to call me when you're ready.
All right, we will call this meeting of the Kingston Common Council Democratic Caucus to order here at 7:03 p.m. on the third day of June 2024. Welcome, everyone. We have a number of local laws, and because the one, number 5, I know there's been some discussion, and there was a good discussion with our attorney at the housing meeting. I was hoping that we could have a similar discussion with the full council here, so we can get the whole, so we can all be on the same page. If that's okay with everybody, then I'd like to move that to the beginning of our caucus meeting here. So that would mean we're going into attorney-client session. So we're going to ask those who are not members of the council to wait outside. We'll try to be quick as real estate issues allow. So there's still some time to think this through and have some other ideas. Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, wait, there's one, two left. Did, those guys leave?
No. They're hanging out right there.
They're making up stories now.
There's some here.
Of course they are.
Felt an obligation to go. I think the public should be involved, but they're waiting out on me.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry, we took a while on that. Great. So. Good, so we will start with the legislative list. The first item, Resolution 83, is opposing delivery rate increases by Central Hudson Gas and Electric Corporation. So,
Yes, this came out of laws and rules. This is a resolution that many of the municipalities covered by Central Hudson are putting in. It's going to the Michelle Phillips, Secretary of the New York State Public Service Commission, because she's supposed to make a decision in July or August this summer, and we're opposing these delivery service increases. They'll very negatively affect our community and our small businesses here in Kingston. So that is what this is.
all right, everybody go to that? Any questions?
All good.
All good.
Excellent. 84 is recommending the approval of a 2024 transfer in the fire department in the amount of $61,390. This is for ambulance equipment and fire turnout gear. This would be coming from, I believe it was, not fund balance, the other.
Finance.
No, the
Oh, where it's coming from.
rainy day, contingency, sorry. All right, everybody good with that? 85 is recommending the approval of a 2024 budget transfer in the police department in the amount of $14,645 from contingency to cover the expense of a resignation payout. As you all know by now, this is absolutely standard. This is the way we say goodbye to folks. Everybody okay with that one then?
Yes.
All right. 86 is recommending the approval of the 2024 budget transfer in the police department in the amount of $36,000 to cover the expense of overages. And this one actually has zero financial impact because it's a movement of money within the police department. All right.
Sounds good.
87 is authorizing the mayor.
Ooh.
Build a lighthouse.
I think that's a Buddhist who got its wings.
Okay.
Even I didn't think that was that funny. All right, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation for a water infrastructure improvement grant in the amount of $625,000, and a state revolving fund, SRF, in the amount of $1,875,000 for the pump station repair and reconstruction project, and to execute any and all related documents. Supers?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, everybody good with that one?
Yes.
What are it's only 6 of the pump stations?
No, it wasn't 6. It's only average 6 of them.
There's like 4, but there's 14.
Yeah.
I think it was,
They're
Ultimately.
actually
I think
18
like
in total,
the last half of the
Yeah.
conversation.
but they're starting, of course, with the worst ones first.
Some don't need that kind of money.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Mhm.
You're right, and also, so this is also a grant application, and then there's also related to it, we have to do the bond in order to ensure the possibility of the grant. So resolution 88 is the bond ordinance, and remember that one, for folks who are new-ish, that one is a roll call. So we each call that individually, so practice saying yes or no. Resolution 89, recommending approval for modifications of the 2024 fire department budget. Is this the one that's for? Retirement in. No,
This is this is the healthcare and mental hygiene worker
Oh, right.
bonus program.
right, thank you. I don't know why the numbers are out of whack with my notes from our finance committee meeting. Right, so this is a grant that's coming to us. It's basically just saying thank you to the fire department members, and it's giving them a nice little boost
Oh, yes.
for doing the amazing work that they do. All right, resolution 90, and so that's a pass-through grant, that's why
Right,
there's.
so it's-
Resolution 90, an ordinance amending an ordinance on the city of Kingston removing no parking on Fair Street. Is that fair? Fair. Resolution 91, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation for a certified local government grant in the amount of $15,000 to hire a consultant to elevate the proposed Wilbur Historic District to the state and national register of historic places and to execute any and all related documents. You want to see about that?
Yeah, this is just more work around historic preservation that we've been doing down in Wilbur and Coffee. And as of right now, Wilbur is moving forward, but we have to hire a consultant because there is a lot of work in putting applications together to the state and the federal register.
Great. So if we get that grant, there will be a $10,000 match. Just be aware that that's a possibility. Yes. And of all the contingency spending we're looking at, we're covered. There's no going underwater with any of it. Resolution 92, recommending approval for modifications to the 2024 Planning Department budget.
Covered and forester.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that under here? Oh, right, it's a new position with a salary that's fully covered by a grant. So in the end, it'll be zero financial impact, but it is also adding somebody, in a sense, to the city employee roster for, I think it's 4 years, but it will be covered by the grant for that period of time. If we want to keep the person on, we would be looking for another grant rather than adding them automatically to the payroll. All right. Resolution 93, appointing Emily Hauser to the Ulster County Environmental Management Council to represent the city of Kingston. Is that, so is that?
Came out of safety and government.
Okay.
Emily is a great candidate. She's very active in our city council, and she'll do a great job. Gives a monthly report at the public safety committee for interest.
Oh. And what does the Ulster County Environmental Management Council do?
Well, she's now on the city environmental council.
Right.
So she'll be elevated to the county environmental council.
Well, she'll probably need to serve.
She'll do both.
She can do it through a
Cities doesn't.
Is resolution 94 repeating 87?
Pump station really looks like
Yeah,
it.
no, I don't think so. This is water main.
It's resolution 87 on the first page and 94.
Yeah, it's the same.
Same thing?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
This is how we get to 6 pump stations.
Well, then we'll just approve it twice and
But there's no bonds,
no bonds.
Yes.
All right.
So we keep 87.
Elissa,
What number is that?
94. It appears to us to be repeating 87. Or 87 seems to be prefiguring 94.
Okay, thank you. I'll take care of it.
Thank you. 95 then is amending the allocation of solar panel projects in the 2023 capital plan. This was proposal from Julie Noble to request one to augment the capital plan, so that one has no financial impact. And the other is to increase the funds dedicated to the First Avenue Solar Project, which is also $0 financial impact, basically moving money around. Is that all right with everybody?
Yep.
And she has a grant, she has money in hand, but,
Yeah.
That's right. It's funny, this is just how it's going to be allocated.
right,
She was very particular
the
with
best guy.
Yes.
96 is in support of state legislation for speed cameras in school zones. Isn't that public safety and government?
That's a whole roll resolution asking them to allow us to do this. We'll see what the state legislature does. Details to follow if they act.
Does this have to happen in the next couple of days then?
Well, they,
Friday.
it happened Friday, they did it.
No, it has to happen by Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, it
They
did.
said it's in there.
And it's been reduced from the entire school districts down to 3
It would be
schools.
just a city. right?
Yeah,
No, but it's been reduced to just 3
Right.
zones.
3 school zones.
Oh, okay.
As-
but after that, we could grow it.
This is a pilot.
Yeah.
Right,
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm gonna vote yes. I still have a lot of philosophical problems with speed cameras. But it's just a pilot program.
I can introduce you as parents.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think we all have the right to not always be perceived though.
Theoretically, the bathroom is safe.
And what are the 3 zones
For now.
where it's going to be?
We don't know yet.
You have to be.
Oh, to be determined.
This is just,
Got it.
giving us permission to develop the program. We don't have any vendor, we don't have any cameras, we don't have any,
Okay,
We
no,
know it's-
got it.
we don't have any.
But we want to do something.
We
But
want-
we want to
we
do
want-
something.
we
We have
want-
good intentions.
Part of this pilot program is that the state will cover the cost of these, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. This is not costing us anything.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why it's a pilot.
All right, 97 is approving the memorandum of agreement between the city of Kingston and the Kingston firefighters, local 461, adding additional EMS ambulance services to the fire department. Right, so this is basically making sure that the current contract covers the new people that we're going to hire
Yes.
to work the ambulance service. Hiring more staff in the ambulance service it'll cost $556,032 for the rest of the year. Hiring will be staggered and new hires will go through official training at a formal fire training academy. There's the possibility that the grant will cover hiring of later officers due to the requirements of the grant. New employees cannot be previously hired. So that's why we're looking at a staggered process. All right.
Mhm.
Good. 98, adopting a fee schedule for the city of Kingston's ambulance billing system. Again, this is something too that we are starting with this fee system, but we're going to look at data that we capture between the beginning of the year and the end of the summer to get a better sense of the fees. And then a year from now, we'll also review to make sure that we're making the right choices in terms of these fees so that we are completely covered. All right. Resolution 99, memorandum of agreement between City of Kingston and the CSBA Local 1000, ASFCME, AFL-CIO, Kingston City Unit 951, Ulster County Local 856. If anybody has questions about this, we have to go into executive session. Hearing none, we will move on to resolution 100, authorizing the city to expend funds in the first instance and set up a capital account for the First Avenue project.
It's not solar project, but, I mean, that's Julie Solar.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
Which she said will feed back into the system and give us a reduced rate for all of our total citywide electrical consumption.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
She's got the money, she needs a capital fund to spend it.
Yes.
There's that delivery.
Yeah, well, until we take it over,
This is
right?
absolutely right. This is our generator.
Raising the delivery fees to offset everyone getting solar.
Right.
Gotta make them money.
Gets you no matter what.
It's catch 22 and 44. All right, resolution 101, adopting a seeker determination of significance for proposed local law number 8 of 2024, proposed local law 9 of 2024, and proposed local law 10 of 2024, a negative declaration. And so all of those
That's
Are
what we
related.
just sent.
Hmm?
Are those local laws that we were just sent?
Those were the community preservation.
Right.
And we had,
There were a group of them.
do the secret determination.
They're coming.
First reading tonight.
Oh,
It's first
That's the
reading.
one where we used to make a suggestion.
yes.
Okay, so then all of the local laws that are on the docket are first readings. So that means there will not be a vote tomorrow night. But that also means, you know, if anybody has some significant issue and you want to send it back to committee, this would be the time to do it, to discuss it. So the first one we've had some discussion about is the New York prohibiting eviction without good cause. And you could also wait till next month to raise issues if you want, but is there any discussion about that one right now?
So we have this opportunity and another opportunity to send it back to committee if we so choose to.
Correct. So there's time to think about it if you want to mull it over.
And then the mayor, if and when we pass it, has to hold a public hearing as well, and speak to it.
Mhm.
I think we got a lot of information tonight.
Okay. Right, okay, and then local law 6, opting into 421-P, real property tax law exemption for the creation of accessory dwelling units. Everybody okay with that one?
Yes.
Build more. Number 7, adopting the 421-P property tax exemption for the creation of new eligible housing units.
This one I have a problem.
What's that? Uh-oh, she's smacking the table.
Ready?
She's ready.
Okay, so, if you bear with me, I'll just read it out. So I feel very strongly that we need to give a lot more thought to the overall implications of this local law. It will affect the city's ability to generate tax revenues and to accommodate the perceived growth in population, as well as limit the sites available for commercial enterprise and job creation. We are not making any more land, and is everybody familiar with what 421P does? Okay, and so what I've been hearing from certain constituents is that they feel like they will have to fill the gap, and will no doubt cause residents to vote with their feet, likely causing a net population loss and concurrent loss of sales revenue. This proposed law allows the city to establish such procedures as it deems necessary for monitoring and enforcing compliance of an eligible building with the provisions of this section. We should undertake that review before passing any law. I also have a problem with the fact that this is intent, or the law speaks to a municipal-wide adoption Whereas we are allowed to isolate a benefit area. So as opposed to going citywide, if we were, say, to limit it to, you know, the BOA area, Brownfield Opportunity Area. Well, if we were somehow limited, I think that I would find that more acceptable than just, you know, total citywide opening up vacant and underutilized and, you know, other sites as to developers coming in and getting a 25-year tax break. Now, I understand that the tax break, that the developer would have to pay the tax rate at whatever it is set at, for unimproved property. However, once the improvements are made, they will not be taxed based on those improvements. They will be taxed and it will be 4% diminishing each of those 25 years. But it does amount to a tremendous tax advantage. On top of which, we've just passed the form-based code, which gives developers an advantage in that they can go for smaller plots of land. They don't have to provide for parking in the way that they used to have to. So they can increase density and still have 75% of the units be subsidized by the 25% that this regulation requires. So if we could just imagine the Kingstonian and what that would look like, they would essentially have to dedicate 25% of the overall units, and then they would be eligible for this.
Dedicated what?
I'm sorry,
Dedicated.
dedicated to affordability between 60 and 80%. And the rest of the units would also benefit by not having to pay the increased property taxes. And so it amounts to these 25% affordable units subsidizing the rest of the units, 75% of the units, so that we can't look at that revenue. We can't look at the possibility of that revenue that would be associated prior to this law as part of what would go back into municipal services, schools, I don't know, fire department, police department. We get nothing in exchange for allowing developers to come in and for 25 years benefit from not having to pay essentially the taxes associated with that development.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with anything you said. But I think that it's also worth remembering that this is just for city taxes and that the school would have to opt in as well as with the county. For any taxing district needs to opt into 421B. We are a smaller chunk.
Yeah, absolutely. And the mayor's intention, as he mentioned, is to, you know, do a roadshow and to have the other jurisdictions also agree to, you know, lowering of their taxes or removing their taxes.
I am in favor of it being citywide because if we limit it to, say, the Brownfield area, we are then concentrating low, you know, affordable, lower income housing into one area. And that's maybe discriminatory. Yeah.
So, except that what's, you know, the city is 8.7 miles. So there's really not much difference between, you know, locating it in one area as opposed to another area.
I think if you pull somebody on Pearl Street that they have a different opinion than somebody on Broadway. No, we want to build density.
Yeah.
This would encourage.
I mean, we
That's
got rid of single family zoning so that we can have more inclusionary zoning throughout the city.
Yes, but it didn't have the tax implications that this has.
So I'm just curious, because earlier in the first part, you said that there would be these consequences of reducing the population and so forth. Is there evidence for that? Are there
Well,
earlier examples of this happening?
no, well, part of the issue is that we are adopting this. I mean, has any other municipality adopted this? So we are like, once again, at the forefront of putting in place this particular law, which I understand, 3 years from now, we can go back and rescind it. However, whatever we approve now for 25 years, we cannot count on that in terms of our tax growth and, the ability to grow our taxes.
It's garbage and
All of it. There's no municipal impact fee that's associated with it. There is no recreational, what do they call it, a rec fee. So in other words, you're just inviting developers to come in and represent that 25% of their units will be affordable. We don't really have the ability to look back. I mean, okay, Bartek has mentioned that he has like a form that that the developer or the owner would fill out. But that's relying on them to do that work. And once you lose it, you lose it.
So right now, with the way our zoning is and the inclusionary zoning,
Yes.
the 80% to 120, based on however it gets divided up by that building. If there's 20% are affordable units at that rate, they still get a 581 tax exemption.
Yes,
by
and
right.
that's based on income. That's based on the net income of the building that takes into account the lower income that would be generated by those affordable units. So they're appropriately taxed on that income. There is no such provision in this law. This is a straight up, as far as I can interpret it, exemption for the period.
So you want to send this back to committee?
Yes.
Is there any time constraint on this?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
It's just that it's been bundled with the good cause and the ADUs. I'm proposing that we pull this one out and take a closer look at it,
Well, we don't have to pull it out. They are separate.
They're separate.
They're separate.
but they were presented.
Correct. But yeah, there's three different.
Right.
Is there a significant objection to sending it back to committee?
I don't think that a month or two
I don't think
is
it's
going to be a huge.
Will you make the motion to send it back?
So I make a motion to send,
Well, no, not right now, tomorrow night.
oh, yes, absolutely.
And whoever wants the privilege of doing the second, I'll take a $25
Right.
for that.
you get that check.
Yeah, so somebody just be ready. All right, the second, when you hear Carol making the motion, all right? Thank you for that good discussion too.
So is this going to impact the next local law because that is also part of 421?
No, they're separate.
Right,
But
but
then
then under
they're the
either
same.
came from the same state tax law.
And there are two 421Ps, is that correct?
Yeah, the first one is for ADUs.
Right.
Yeah, oh, sorry,
Right.
did that one.
You're okay with
But
that?
this one is also named 421P. Right,
But
and
you
I'm
don't,
okay
you
with
don't
the
have
first
an
one.
objection for this one?
No.
Okay.
The use of 5 year.
Mhm.
Right.
They-
That's fine.
All right, so we're all settled on that one?
Mhm.
All right, so we're moving to, that was 7, right? So we're moving to 8, which is establishing a community preservation plan fund and creating a community preservation fund advisory board. It's authorized by general municipal law, section 6S, for the purpose of preserving natural, scenic, historic, and open space resources within the city. You Good with that?
Yes.
Number 9, adopting a community preservation project plan.
That's
That
the
one?
plan that we've had that's been completed almost a year.
Yeah.
We're finally just officially adopting it.
That's
Right.
And then number 10 is to protect the water quality of the city of Kingston's drinking water, preserve working farms, establish parks and recreational areas, and protect historic resources and natural areas by creating a 1 1/4% real estate transfer tax on the conveyance of the interests in real property in the city of Kingston, with revenues from this tax to be deposited in the City of Kingston Community Preservation Fund, which may be matched by state and federal funding, and which will require full public disclosure of all spending. That wins the award for the longest title ever.
And then ultimately, it needs to go on the ballot for a public referendum in November.
It doesn't, I was gonna say, it doesn't say, I mean, we all know that.
Right, so I'm just
I think
stating.
people need to be, that
Yeah.
is very clear.
This is a timely one.
Mhm.
It has to be done.
That is what I'm stating now. Be
Do
happy
you
to
think we need
state.
to bring that up tomorrow night at the meeting, or
I
that
think
should
it would
be?
be the thing to bring up at the meeting.
Okay.
People should understand that this is not a done deal, it goes to the voters.
You do that?
Sure.
Wouldn't that make more sense to do it next one?
Yeah, because there's no.
Yeah, we're not
action
gonna have any.
Well, true, okay, so but let's remember to do that then, next month. Okay, all right, anything else? Michael?
I did just want to bring to everybody's attention, and of course my computer just turned off. So maybe I can go next.
I will note that laws and rules, there will be a public art, a presentation with Kip Potter about public art policy, so.
And this month is laws and rules due June 20th because it originally fell on 18th. We moved the date.
Okay, have a minute. This year's schedule of the Kingston Rec Guidelines Board hearings have been scheduled for this month. So your constituents can be aware. We're having 4 meetings total. There'll be 2 public hearings, which is Tuesday, the 11th, and Saturday, the 15th. The Saturday one is at 1 p.m. The Tuesday one is at 6 p.m.
Through June?
Yeah, this is coming up. This is next week. The 18th will be the research presentation by HCR, which is where they update based on the data they've collected over the year. And then on the 26th of June at 6 p.m., that is when the rent guidelines board will set the rental adjustments for 1 and 2 year leases.
That's June 16th.
Are you gonna send that to people?
Would you say it's-
Yeah,
They'll forward it to all of us.
That'd be good.
Michael, just to clarify, you're not on that board.
Of course I am.
He is.
He's allowed to be on both.
You are on both?
So, yeah, HCR said, A-okay.
The state statute doesn't prohibit it.
Well, you don't get a salary report, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
$100 a meeting.
Well, it's a state thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
So I have a couple of things.
sure.
You had referenced a municipal art policy
Yeah.
that's going to be coming up in lots of rules, and I just wanted to say thank you publicly to Kit Potter for all the effort that she's put into working with the consultants and with the committee,
Mhm.
because I've been on that committee, which is a subcommittee set up to look at municipal art policy, and everybody has worked really hard and done great work, so I just want to commend her for that work.
Right, and the crucial thing is the city apparently has a fair amount of art, there's no inventory of it.
Right,
So we could have some Picassos and Rembrandts down there.
Stashed.
I don't think so, but we have a lot of historic, well, look at this room right here. You know, there are historic photographs and other things that need to be inventoried, and there's a plan for caring for the collection, and then a policy that will sort of set forth how people can go about putting exhibitions of public art on city-owned property. And it seems, I think it's a really good policy.
And this is distinct from the kind of mural project that O Positive does, that's a completely different thing.
Correct, because that's on private property. This is just relates to municipally owned art and municipal property. And I have one other thing to mention.
Go ahead.
The Forsyth Nature Center is celebrating its 87th birthday on June 7th. And I'm going to be giving a community award to the four friends of the Forsyth Nature Center. And they had asked if I would do that at their birthday party, because that way I get to thank the people who have actually been involved in making that happen. And
It's
so
the, it's the regular,
Yeah.
you know, our monthly meeting award.
the monthly meeting award, that's right. Thank you for that clarification, but I learned a lot of things about them. They have about 70,000 visitors a year through the Nature Center, and the Friends, over 22 years, have raised about $250,000 to take what was a derelict center to turn it into something that people go to,
It's
so.
pretty nasty, but it's nice.
Yeah, no, very nasty before, yes. So anyway, if anyone's in Forsyth Park on June 7th, Friday, you're welcome to come to their birthday party.
What time?
It's at 5:30 is sort of when things are gonna slowly kick off.
Will they have vegan cake?
I do not know.
A couple of nasty turtles in there.
Speaking of winners awards, several months ago, we gave the community award to Christopher Johnson, photographer. And you may not have known at the time, but he was suffering from serious health issues. He needed a new kidney. And he just got one about 10 days ago.
Oh, good news.
If you will all keep him in your thoughts and prayers, I appreciate it. All right, anything else from any committees?
Just, I mean, I had a conversation with Public Works, everything's wonderful, except for they're down 9 people right now. So that's kind of, you know, everybody wants to do something.
Class B license, CDM.
Right,
Yeah, and somebody,
everybody should have.
with the speed signs, somebody, I just heard.
The electrician.
Yeah, the electrician,
The
town
electrician.
Is
electrician.
leaving.
Yeah,
It's
That's
a
a big
very
loss.
big loss.
yeah, because they've been working with the speed signs to capture.
Well,
it
traffic
down.
signals, the
Yeah.
street lights, that's a big loss.
Yeah, a lot. And it's been,
Wow.
Be in touch with both seats.
it's a good idea.
Mhm.
Do they
I
have
actually
social?
know the person who teaches. Electrician,
We should pay for it.
I don't know what the title is, but the electrician who teaches.
Electricianableness
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
Did you just make that up?
of course.
Yes. Are they allowed to outsource it all?
I believe so, but I don't know for sure. Yes, they do,
They're gonna have,
because I know they have been, and it's more expensive to do so.
yeah, they're gonna have to, but yeah. It's expensive.
Water board, everything's good. Reservoirs full, Cooper Lake is full. No.
So.
And if anyone is, would anybody be interested in going on a field trip up to see Cooper Lake?
Absolutely. Yes.
You are.
When is
I
this?
love field trips.
Cooper Lake.
Don't they have a pump station with like a grass knobs and everything?
I don't know. What?
Don't they have like the pump station with it's still like the 1800s with like the grass?
No,
Yeah.
no, it's all upgraded.
It's totally devastating.
You can go in and it's like going into a submarine.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
So your fishing pole,
You go into a ceremony?
it's like one of their stations, it's like you go in and it's underground.
Wow.
It's like.
Just one last thing, since we're heading into summer, or are in summer, however you view summer. If you're gonna miss a meeting, please let me know. Okay, I've already gotten some asks to miss some council meetings, and I need to track quorums.
Mhm.
So if it's council, definitely come to me. If it's a committee, it's probably best to come to me and the chair of that committee, so that we're both tracking. That's all I have.
That's Parks and Recreation. We had a relatively brief update on Deep Stadium. And I will leave this to your discretion here. If anybody interested in having the project manager come to Caucus next month for a brief update.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
we can't go there.
Yeah, well.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm probably the only one that is.
Closer to the end of summer.
yeah. Well, the crucial thing is that, August deadline.
Wow.
There's
August
our
deadline.
August deadline. I mean, end of summer deadline for finishing.
The printer feels.
So far,
Yeah.
substantial, still will not be finished.
No, but
They're sticking to the.
I mean, the-
game plan.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Their PLI, we'll talk about next one.
He said it.
Okay. that sounds great. No, it's looking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the photos that the city put up the other day of the latest work is so much, it's moved so much
Oh,
beyond
yeah.
what we saw when we went there, a couple months ago.
And it's, the pool will not be open this summer, right? In the pool.
Oh, yeah, so why not? It's.
I think-
it got renovated.
They said it's gonna be open.
Oh, okay.
When we went there, but they re-asked.
Because there's all those trailers parked in front of there.
They might move the
I'm
trailer.
not sure how they're gonna arrange it, but I'm quite sure the pool's gonna be open.
Okay, okay.
Parking, I'm not quite sure.
When does it usually open?
Labor Day, after Labor Day. Usually.
No.
Closes Labor Day, sorry.
We just got Memorial.
Yeah, it was like right after school.
Yeah, I think that's.
Did you get a lifeguard?
All right, then, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Let me read one.
Life one.
So in the motion to adjourn.
Night.
Can I have those things?